Okay, let's dive in. Picture this, right? You desperately need a specific coin, like I don't know, the exact change for something kind of trivial.
A parking meter, or maybe an old gumball machine.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. And you're digging through your pockets, your bag, nothing. You get that little spike of frustration, you know? Maybe you have to break a 20 for a 50-cent item.
Oh, I know that feeling. Annoying.
Right. But then maybe an hour later, you're walking down the street and bam, there it is on the sidewalk, glinting.
Don't tell me.
The exact coin you needed earlier. It's almost comical, like the universe just went, oops, forgot this earlier, my bad.
Huh. It really does feel like that
Yeah.
sometimes. And it's funny how those tiny, almost silly moments they can actually open up these huge philosophical questions, can't they?
Totally. And that's basically what this deep dive is all about today. That simple thing, finding something, specifically that coin that just shows up.
And what it tells us about rules, ownership, and honestly, just how our brains work to make sense of things.
Yeah, how we interpret the world. And we're drawing from a really interesting source document for this one titled Rules Are Frameworks, Not Absolute Prisons.pdf, which is quite suggestive.
It certainly sets a tone.
So, our mission really is to unpack how this tiny event, finding a coin, can kind of challenge those rigid ideas we might have about ethics, about right and wrong.
And maybe push us into thinking about bigger things like meaning,
Mm,
maybe even serendipity, but perhaps in a funnier way than we usually consider.
exactly. So, the source material starts pretty basically, right?
Yeah.
With a rule most of us learned as kids.
Right off the bat, it mentions that core idea. Taking something which is not yours or given to you is a sin. Simple, clear.
Designed to stop theft, obviously. And usually it makes perfect sense. You walk into a store, you take something without paying. Wrong, no question.
Clear cut, but some pickle coin. Just lying there on a public street.
Yeah, that feels different, doesn't it? It puts that simple rule under a bit of pressure.
It really does.
Yeah.
It demands nuance. And the source digs into this. It talks about the legal and ethical side of lost property.
Like genuinely lost.
Yeah, where you can't possibly find the owner, and it looks like they've just, you know, given up on it, abandoned it. Over time, legally, it can sometimes become the finder's property.
So that coin on the sidewalk, did someone drop it and just keep walking, not even noticing? The context, like it being out in the open, suggests abandonment, right?
It strongly suggests it. There's no obvious owner rushing back for it.
And that's precisely where that slightly weird, slightly magical thought comes in. Oh, the universe gave this to me.
Exactly. It feels significant because of the timing, because you needed it just before.
So what's going on there? Is it actually the universe?
Well, this is where the source gets really interesting looking at the cognitive stuff. Logically, it's probably just coincidence, random chance.
Yeah.
Anyone could drop that coin at any time.
Makes sense. Bit boring, maybe, but logical.
But our brains, they're pattern matching machines. They hate pure randomness, especially when it connects to us personally.
So when something external, like finding a coin, lines up perfectly with something internal, like needing that coin.
Bingo. We can't help but feel it's meaningful. Is it fate, cosmic alignment, or just our mind doing its job, trying to create a narrative out of chaos? The source really highlights that drive. We want to find connections. It makes us feel seen, maybe,
Yeah.
like the universe winked.
That pushes us way beyond just taking is bad then. Suddenly it's about the situation, why you picked it up, even how your own brain works.
Right. Your intent wasn't theft. It was just finding. And the context public place, tiny value that matters hugely too. Finding a lost diamond ring in someone's front yard. Whole different ballgame.
Completely different feeling, yeah.
And think about perspective. The person who lost the coin probably didn't even notice it was negligible. But for you, the finder, it was this moment of relief, maybe slight weirdness. And as the source points out, it sparks these bigger thoughts.
So it shows how rules aren't always these rigid iron bars. They're more like frameworks.
Exactly. Frameworks that need context, interpretation, based on the situation, your intentions, not just black and white.
So picking up that coin, technically, was it breaking the rule? A sin, like the source initially stated?
Well, in the absolute strictest narrowest sense,
Yeah.
maybe. But the source suggests that life, the human experience, is messier, wider, and, yeah, sometimes funnier than that.
It was probably just an okay thing to do, an innocent act that accidentally sent you down a philosophical rabbit hole.
I think that's a great way to put it. It highlights morality, ownership, and that strange dance between what's going on in our heads and what happens out there.
So yeah, this little coin thing, it really does go way beyond just a simple rule.
Definitely. The key things are rules need context. Our brains are meaning-making machines, sometimes seeking patterns even in randomness.
And sometimes things just line up in these delightful, unexpected ways.
The source puts it so well. Sometimes the universe speaks in loose change.
I love that.
It leaves us with a thought, doesn't it,
Yeah.
for you listening? The next time one of those small, weirdly coincidental things happens,
Yeah.
something that clicks perfectly with a thought or a need you just had.
Yeah, pause for a second. Is it just random noise?
Or
Yeah.
are you maybe just finding the meaning that the universe sort of left lying around for you? What other little bits of loose change might you be walking past every day?